Will Americans ever get to read Mary Trump's tell-all book on her family and uncle President Donald Trump? After a series of conflicting court rulings in New York, that is not yet fully decided. Late Wednesday, it appeared the book was closer to publication, but with remaining hurdles after a mixed ruling by a New York appeals court. The appellate decision cleared the way for publisher Simon Schuster to distribute the book by President Trump's niece over the objections of the president's brother, Robert Trump, who sued Mary Trump and the publisher seeking to block the book. The New York State Supreme Court Appellate Division said it was lifting a restraint that a lower court judge put on Simon Schuster a day earlier that would have blocked distribution of Too Much and Never Enough: How My Family Created the World's Most Dangerous Man. The appeals ruling, though, left in place a restraining order against Mary Trump. On Thursday, Mary Trump's legal team was preparing to file a motion seeking to vacate that restraining order. It is not clear when that motion would be decided, but probably not until next week at the earliest. The courts are closed Friday for the July 4th holiday. USA Today reached out to some of the dozen lawyers listed as representing the publisher, Mary Trump or Robert Trump, to discuss the status of the case. So far, none have responded. But Katie Townsend, legal director of the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, who filed a friend of the court brief in the case, told USA Today the case is very unusual. If Mary Trump is still under a restraining order, how can she participate in the promotion of her book? It's a good question, Townsend said. We were shocked by the trial court issuing a temporary restraining order. We argue in our brief that it's prior restraint and thus counter to the First Amendment. In the meantime, Simon Schuster intends to proceed with its plans for publishing the book, scheduled for July 28, according to Adam Rothberg, a spokesman for the publisher. Robert Trump argues in his lawsuit that Mary Trump was part of a settlement almost 20 years ago that included a confidentiality clause explicitly saying members of the family would not publish any account concerning the litigation or their relationship, unless they all agreed. But Townsend says that Mary Trump's alleged contractual obligations don't apply to Simon Schuster, and that's why the appellate court ruled as it did. Even if Mary Trump breached a contract, the courts typically would call for her to pay damages later, not be restrained from speaking. When there is a breach of contract, that does not stop speech, Townsend said. There's a strong preferences in the law for post-publication remedies rather than prior restraint. Simon Schuster has said thousands of copies of the 75,000 copy first run of the book have already been sent to bookstores and others.